How many times have you left a party, a meeting, or even a simple lunch with friends feeling completely shattered? You didn't run a marathon. You didn't lift heavy weights. You just sat there. You listened. You nodded. You smiled. But by the time you got home, you felt a bone-deep exhaustion, as if your soul had been siphoned out of your body. You probably collapsed onto your bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering, what is wrong with me? Why can everyone else handle this so easily while I feel like I need 3 days of silence just to recover? Society has likely given you a few labels for this. They call you antisocial. They say you are too sensitive. Maybe you've even labeled yourself as weak or introverted in a negative way. You watch other people navigate crowds, laughing and energized, and you wonder why your social battery seems to be broken. But what if I told you that your battery isn't broken? What if I told you that you are just running a much more powerful operating system than everyone else? Psychology suggests that when you feel drained by people instantly, it is rarely because you dislike them. It is because you are processing millions of data points that they are completely blind to. While they are just hearing words, you are reading micro-expressions. You are sensing the tension in their jaw. You are picking up on the lie hidden in their tone of voice. You are feeling the emotional weight they are trying to hide. You aren't just socializing. You are performing a deep dive psychological scan of everyone around you every single second. You aren't antisocial. You are highly perceptive. You are a human lie detector, an emotional sponge, and a data analyst all rolled into one. And that is exhausting. Today, we are going to stop apologizing for your fatigue and start celebrating the incredible intelligence behind it. Now let's look at the science behind this social hangover. In psychology, there is a distinct difference between being antisocial and being selectively social. An antisocial person lacks empathy or interest in others. You likely have too much empathy. You are interested, but at a depth that most social interactions simply cannot sustain. If you feel drained instantly, it is because your brain is doing heavy lifting that no one else sees. You are not weak. You are a high-performance machine running on overdrive. Here are the 4 psychological reasons why people exhaust you, and why that is actually a sign of your hidden power. The number 1 reason highly perceptive people get tired is cognitive dissonance. Most social interactions are a performance. People put on masks. They ask, "How are you?" without wanting an answer. They smile when they are angry. They pretend to like people they hate. For the average person, navigating this surface-level acting is easy. They just play the game. But for you, you have a biological intolerance for anything fake. When you speak to someone who is being inauthentic, someone who is bragging to hide insecurity, or being nice to manipulate you, your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. You spot the discrepancy between their words, what they say, and their energy, what they feel. Holding space for this lie is physically exhausting. Your brain is screaming, "Danger, this isn't real," while your social conditioning is forcing you to nod and smile politely. This internal battle burns through your glucose levels rapidly. You aren't tired because you are shy. You are tired because you are forcing yourself to participate in a play where everyone has a script but you. You crave truth like oxygen, and when the air is thick with pretense, you start to suffocate. Imagine everyone else has a standard internet connection, but you are plugged into a fiber optic cable downloading terabytes of data per second. This is what psychologists call high sensory processing. While a normal person walks into a room and sees people talking, you walk in and feel the tension in the air. You notice the couple fighting silently in the corner. You pick up on your friend's anxiety before they even speak. You hear the background noise, smell the perfume, and feel the temperature shift. You are constantly processing micro-expressions, the fleeting facial movements that reveal true emotion. This happens subconsciously, but it taxes your mental RAM. When you leave a crowded event, you aren't just physically tired. You are suffering from sensory overload. You have absorbed the emotional residue of everyone you interacted with. You didn't just hear their stories, you felt them in your own body. This is a sign of high emotional intelligence, but it comes at a steep price: your energy. Have you ever noticed that you can talk for 5 hours straight about the universe, psychology, or your deepest fears without getting tired? But 5 minutes of talking about the weather or what you did this weekend makes you want to crawl into a hole. This is the small talk paradox. Highly perceptive people are energized by depth and drained by surface. Small talk serves a social function for most. It's a way to bond safely, without vulnerability. But for you, it feels like eating cardboard. It has no nutritional value for your mind. Your brain thrives on connection, meaning, and pattern recognition. When you are forced to stay in the shallow end of the pool, your brain gets bored. And boredom, paradoxically, is exhausting. It takes more effort for you to feign interest in trivial gossip than it does to solve a complex problem. You are not bad at people. You are just starving for substance. You are an explorer stuck in a waiting room. The moment the conversation shifts to something real, something raw, honest, or intellectual, your fatigue often vanishes instantly. That proves it's not the people that tire you. It's the lack of connection. Society treats the need for alone time as a defect. Why don't you want to go out? Why are you isolating yourself? They don't understand that for you, solitude is not isolation. It is integration. Because you take in so much data during the day, your brain needs downtime to file, sort, and delete that information. You need silence to hear your own thoughts again. You need to empty your container so you can fill it up tomorrow. Think of yourself like a high-performance sports car. You can go faster and handle corners better than a standard sedan, but you burn fuel twice as fast and require more pit stops. That is not a design flaw. It is a design trade-off. The problem is not that you need recovery time. The problem is that you feel guilty for taking it. You try to push through the exhaustion to please others, to be a good friend or a team player. And that is when burnout happens. That is when you snap. You must stop apologizing for your maintenance requirements. You cannot give the world your high-level perception if you are running on fumes. So the next time you feel that wave of exhaustion hit you in the middle of a social gathering, don't judge yourself. Don't tell yourself you are broken. Instead, recognize what is happening. Say to yourself, I am sensing too much right now. My lie detector is going off. My empathy is full. Give yourself permission to leave early. Give yourself permission to say no. Give yourself permission to be the one who sits quietly and observes instead of performing. Your energy is precious. It is the currency you use to create, to help, and to understand the world. Don't spend it on people or situations that offer you nothing in return. You are not antisocial. You are simply a guardian of your own light. And in a world that is often dark and confusing, we need your light to burn bright, not to burn out. If you recognized yourself in this description, if you are tired of pretending to be an extrovert when you are actually a deep perceiver, then you have found your home. Subscribe to the channel. Here, we don't do small talk. We go deep. We validate the parts of you that society ignores. Welcome to the community of the highly perceptive. Until next time.